Hey family, welcome back to 5G Cook. Today we are going to be making baked ziti, okay? Baked ziti. So for that, I have my ground beef, my cheese, ziti of course, spaghetti sauce, red pepper, tomato, onion, and for seasoning, I'm gonna use my complete seasoning, salt, crushed pepper, and some of my Maggi cube. Okay, so let's get started. What you want to do at this point is bring a large saucepan to boil so that you can start cooking your ziti. Okay, so I will do that in a little bit, and then go ahead and cut your vegetables. You can cut it as small as you want or as big as you want. Okay, so fun fact, all these vegetables and the tomato, which is a fruit, are all from my garden. So these are all fresh. Okay, so now you can go over to your stove top. One thing I usually like to do with my ground beef is that I usually like to get the fat out. Okay, so I'm gonna take it over and then I'm gonna show you how I do that. Come on. This is the water boiling for the ziti. Okay, so go ahead, be careful because it's hot. Introduce some salt. And I usually add butter to mine because I don't want it to stick together. So once I do that, I will go ahead now and add my box of ziti. And now I'm gonna allow this to cook, okay? And bring this to boil, okay? You do not want to cover it all the way because once it boils, it's gonna overflow. So just halfway is fine. So now for your ground beef, get you a small to a medium pot, okay? And then add it to it. Once the pot is warm, the meat is gonna start cooking, and that is how we drain the fat from it. Okay, you do not have to drain the fat if you don't want to. It's just that for me, I always drain the fat. So once you add it, just give it a few minutes for the pot to heat up. Okay, family, so this is what it would look like. Okay, so one thing I forgot to tell you is that when I was buying my ground beef, I bought one that is about 10% fat. So there's not much fat in here. If this happened to be something that you got too, you don't need to drain it because there's hardly any fat. As you can see, there's hardly any fat. So you can go ahead now and introduce your vegetables. Okay, about I want to say 1/4 cup of water. Okay, not too much because the onion is gonna make it watery. So about 1/4 cup of water, and then you add your seasoning, and then you bring it to cook. Okay. So my seasoning and my water. Just give it a good mix. Now all you do is cover it and allow this to cook. Okay. Okay, so how after about 5 to 6 minutes, once your vegetable is all weakened, give it a good mix, and now you can add your pasta sauce. Okay. Mix it all together. You can add as much sauce as you want or as little sauce as you want. Okay. So at this point now, just allow it to thicken to a consistency that you want. Okay. And also, it jumps a lot, so make sure you cover it so that you don't get burned. Okay. So after about a few minutes, just mix. Go ahead and give this a mix. Okay. Try not to add too much salt, because remember, the cheese have salt. You don't want it to be too salty. Okay. So just give it a good mix. A quick tip: when I'm ready to mix mine, I go ahead and I turn the fire to low so that it's not jumping everywhere. And after, I just go back and turn it to medium. Okay. So now, as you can see, the ziti is cooked and ready. Okay. So I'm going to drain this off camera, and I will show you guys what it looks like after I drain it. Okay. So this is what it looks like now. It's cooked and it's ready. Okay guys, so this is what I was telling you guys about jumping. Okay, I turned my fire off, but now it's a consistency that I want, so I'm gonna take it off. Okay, so this is what it looks like for me, but if you want yours to be a little bit more dry, you can just keep it on the stove top. Okay, so for me this is ready. So what you want to do now, this is the ziti. Go ahead and get you a large bowl like this. Okay, and put the desired amount in there. Add your sauce right on top of it. You don't need to add too much because you want to save some for the top. Okay, so just enough to give it a good mix. And then same thing with the cheese, just a tiny bit. Okay, well, not a tiny bit, but not too much. Okay, so now that you have everything like this, oh, you see your cheese is melting. So if you want, you can add a little bit more sauce, which you don't really need to, but you can. Okay. And at this point now, you can go ahead and put it in your bakeware, okay? For me, I usually put it in little dishes like this. Oh, my cheese is so melty. That's good. Okay. Once you have a desired amount like this, go ahead and repeat the same process, okay? But this time we're not gonna mix it. Add your sauce. Just make it look nice. And now your cheese. At this point, you can be generous with the cheese because you want it to look nice, okay? Okay, so now this is ready to go into your oven, okay? So what you do, turn your oven on, okay? I usually put mine on bake and I put it on 350 because I don't want it to burn, okay? And then I hit start. Okay, so I'll give it until the cheese is melted on the top, okay? Usually that would take about 3 to 5 minutes, okay? So after about 5 minutes, this is what it looks like, okay? See? So beautiful. And now all you do is serve this, okay? So that's why I usually use little bowls like this, because you can just serve this to the person, okay? So baked ziti, enjoy.